So welcome to another one of our Thomson Wright budget update videos. This one we're focusing on changes to stamp duty and land tax, which affects quite a number of our clients.
It certainly does. So shall we start by talking about the change in the so-called surcharge?
Yeah, so as many of you are probably aware, if somebody buys a second home or if a company buys a residential property, they are subject to a stamp duty and land tax surcharge. This was 3%, it's now been moved up to 5% with effect from the 31st of October.
Yeah, it was a strange date because it wasn't budget day,
No,
it was the next
day
day, so you couldn't really get out of a transaction if you were part way through, so it was a bit of an odd day.
That's it, yeah, and bear in mind as well, it's on the day of exchange of contracts.
Yeah.
Rather than completion and things like that. So just that is a key thing. If you completed or exchanged before the 31st, you're subject to the old rates. Obviously now it's a new rate. And I think we're going to be showing on screen a table of how this affects across the board because it also impacts in other areas where there are additional charges, particularly where there's non-UK resident purchases of property and corporate buyers of properties as well.
Gone up as well, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think one of the other changes as well, the 0% band for residential properties for stamp duty land tax from the 1st of April drops from 250,000 down to 125,000.
So that change doesn't come until the 1st of April,
No.
does it? There's also, I think, a change then for first-time buyers, relief from the same date, that's going down as well, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it used to be up to 500,000 and now it's
only up to 300,000. Yeah. So again, an impact there that people will have to be obviously mindful of and keeping
and given that property transactions take quite a long time, typically may well catch somebody who's made a plan to buy their first home, thinking that there was going to be perhaps no stamp duty, and now they might just fall into the bands.
Yeah, so something just to be bearing in mind. Also for companies, one of the key changes is that a company that buys a residential property for more than £500,000 previously paid a 15% flat stamp duty land tax charge. That's now going up to 17%. So again, that's a sting. Plus the surcharge as well. So potentially anywhere up to 22% stamp duty land tax in those scenarios.
I think that's always been the sort of aim to stop companies buying the expensive properties in London and things like that, which is why that band's perhaps set where it is.
That's it.
Although perhaps not as powerful as it was, I think quite a few properties fall into that.
Well, yeah, as we've moved further away from London, as the commuter belt has expanded, it's started to have that impact, hasn't it? I think one of the other things that hasn't changed is stamp duty land tax for non-residential purchases.
So land and things like that.
Land, commercial properties, that's all stayed the same.
Just residential has changed.
Just residential, so it's 0% between 0 and 150,000. 2% on the next 100,000, so between 150 and 250, and then for anything 250 and above, it's 5%. So yeah, that kind of covers everything on stamp duty and land tax. Some quite difficult changes. Again, it's another part of that squeeze, as it were, to bring in some more money into the public coffers. But again, still some planning opportunities, particularly around about first-time buyers and buying a property before the 1st of April and things like that. So again, something to be mindful of. Thanks for your time on this small video. Take a look out for other videos that we've got on the budget.